Hello and welcome to the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel. My name is Elyse and I'm one of the design team members. Today I've got this simple floral frame card featuring some of the products that were released just this past month. Let's take a look at what I'm going to use. I've got this Wallflower stamp set and the grid panel Slimline dies. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp out the floral images that I want to use and the leaves from the set. I'm using Fawn jet black ink. It is Copic marker friendly because I'm going to do some Copic coloring. I'm going to set that aside and do my stamping on my panel. So I just die cut the smallest stitched rectangle and the frames. I'm just going ahead and using a navy ink to stamp that down. Now we can move on to the Copic coloring. Here are the markers that I'm going to use today. Very funny, I looked over and the candy I was eating reminded me so much of the colors that I chose. Anyways, I have got this sped up. I am by no means a Copic coloring expert, but it is my preferred coloring medium. I usually color darkest to lightest. And just try to get because I'm doing the leaves all the same greens, I'm just going to go ahead and get all of those done together. I really like this YG combo. It's YG 17, 13, and 11. It's one of my favorite green combos. Like I said, I do really quick Copic coloring I didn't cut out any of the coloring here, but I did speed it up, so it's double time speed. But all in all, this only took me 6 minutes to color. Like no time at all. Now I could have spent a lot of time on the shading on the flowers, and I really just didn't. I kind of just add in some dark lines here and there, especially on this rose and on that top flower that's it's almost like a dahlia or a mum. I'm just adding in the dark and shading out from there. Like I said, you could do this really precise and things like that. I'm just trying to get some sort of variation in my coloring so that I don't just color all of it with one solid marker. I'm just trying to add a little bit of depth here and there. So I'm just not doing anything precise. On this yellow flower, I am coloring it so that the base of the petals is the darkest, going out to the lightest at the top of the petal. Again, nothing super fancy. To start, I do color over, there's in the middle of that flower, basically where the stamen are. First I thought I was just going to leave that yellow, but I take one of my orange markers and use that. I have the hardest time getting kind of like blending definition with yellow markers, at least the yellow markers that I have. If you have a good yellow Copic marker color blend that actually shows some variation, let me know in the comments down below. This is Y 15, 13, and 11. Going in now with my oranges, kind of coloring that exactly how I colored in that pink rose, just adding some shading here and there just to give some depth and dimension to that flower. There are lots of amazing Copic coloring artists here on YouTube and in the crafting community. So if you want to learn a lot about Copic coloring, I suggest looking into some of those fantastic folks. From here, I am just going to go on to building the scene, trying to set a guide for myself, basically, of how I want this to look. Basically, I want to tuck these flowers kind of into the frames, just so that they're peeking out. These are just serving as little windows for my flowers to be sitting in. I did put a leaf with each flower. In the end, I do swap two of these leaves. That leaf that I put with the orange flower, I end up putting with the yellow flower. But just trying to add those in. You could also have stamped the sentiment on the top of the frames or on a banner. I did think about putting it on a banner die and putting it, maybe across the top, but I just decided to keep it simple and stamp it right onto the frame. Once I have this kind of how I want it, I can go on to the assembly. So I'm using some foam tape that I've just cut into some thinner strips to pop up the frame. And then I will adhere that down. And then I can go in with some liquid glue and adhere down my flowers and leaves. Just going to go in frame by frame, gluing those down, trying to get them into the place where I want them. And then that nearly completes the card. I do go in with some embellishments, which you'll see here shortly. So I'm using that same liquid glue, and you can see my Trinity tidy tray is off to the side. I love that thing, by the way. It's really, really great for embellishments. Just put them in, and then it has basically like a funnel, so you can put it back into your container or Ziploc baggie or however you have your sequins stored. These are just little clear hearts. All of the products I used today, by the way, are linked down below. So if you want to look at any of these products closer, please go check it out, including the tray. It's linked down below. So I'm just adding these in kind of scattered in, and that completes the card. Here is a look at that finished card. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see more from the Trinity Stamps design team, be sure to subscribe, give this video a like, and we will catch you in the next one.